Hey guys, it's Raul again, and today I'll be sharing with you guys some of my favorite books by Hispanic authors. So with Hispanic Heritage Month coming up between September 15th and October 15th, I figured I would go ahead and share with you guys some of my favorite books that I've read by Hispanic authors, and maybe inspire you guys to pick some of these up before Hispanic Heritage Month starts. I was originally planning on posting this video somewhat in the middle of Hispanic Heritage Month, but I figured that it would be something really good to post before, because if you guys are kind of struggling to figure out what you want to read, these may spark some ideas. So yes, I'm going to go ahead and share those with you guys today. The first book I have on my list is Like Waterford Chocolate by Laura Esquirel. This is a magical realism romance that follows our main character who loves to cook, and everything that she kind of feels while she's cooking, people end up feeling when they eat their food. So if she's very sad when she made something, people become very sad. If she's very happy when she made a certain dish, people become very happy. And people feel these emotions throughout her cooking. This is a wonderful book set in Mexico. It's got a lot of different recipes and stuff scattered throughout, and I absolutely loved this book when I read it years back, and it's just been one of my favorites ever since. And yes, definitely one that I highly recommend. The next book on my favorites list is The Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde. This is by Junot Diaz, and I know Junot Diaz right now is going through a lot of controversy because of, allegations and stuff toward him, which I'm very, very sad to hear, because I absolutely adore this book. I love Oscar Wilde's journey and his story, and I connected with him as a character so much. I mean, there are a lot of themes in here that I know a lot of people don't like, with like machismo and how men are portrayed and stuff, but I feel like it's just so accurate with the Hispanic community, with Latinx culture, how men are kind of, forced to perceive women and forced to act around women and stuff. I feel like that's just very accurate, although it's extremely problematic. But it's something I feel needs to be highlighted because it's true. I mean, it happens in life and in Hispanic culture. Another one that I absolutely love. Again, I absolutely adore this story. One that I still recommend if you guys are okay with reading something by an author that isn't completely the best person in the world. And the next book I have for you is actually an author, and that's anything by Elizabeth Acevedo. So I have The Poet X, and I have With the Fire on High. I feel like Elizabeth Acevedo can do no wrong at this point. I've read her two books. I have absolutely adored her two novels. The first book is written in verse. It follows our main character, Xiomara, as she kind of discovers slam poetry and her love for slam poetry and how she uses to cope with her mother's extreme religious beliefs. I adored this one. And then we have With the Fire on High, which follows our main character, Imani, who is a single mom, loves to cook, and wants to kind of pursue cooking as a career. And it's just another absolutely wonderful story. I recommend anything by Elizabeth Acevedo, and I'm super excited to see what else she comes out with. She's one of my favorite authors ever, and I'm so excited that she writes and that she exists because she's wonderful. The next book I have to recommend to you guys is Next Year in Havana by Chanel Clayton, another book that I've recently been gushing about. I absolutely love this book. This is now one of my favorite books of all time. It is a dual perspective story set in Cuba, one in 1953, I believe, 1958, and then the other perspective is set in 2017. In 1953, we follow our main character, Elisa, and then in 2017, we follow Elisa's granddaughter, Marisol, and in 2017, Elisa has already passed away. Marisol is kind of given the task to go to Cuba and spread Elisa's ashes, and she kind of starts to find out a lot of her grandmother's life from everything that happened in Cuba and in her past. So it goes back and forth between the two perspectives and the two time periods. This book is absolutely amazing. If you have not read it, I highly recommend you guys check this one out, because it is near perfection. I loved this story. And the last book I have to recommend to you guys is probably going to come to no surprise for those of you who have been watching my channel for a while, and that is 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. This is a Spanish version, the 50th anniversary Spanish version. If for some reason during Hispanic Heritage Month I end up having enough time to do a reread of this, I will absolutely do a reread of this. I love this book. This is my favorite book of all time. I love it. It follows the Buendia family in their town and 100 years worth of family. This is a huge family saga story that spans multiple generations. It is amazing. I love this book. It is just everything that I want in storytelling, and I cannot wait to sit down one day and just finally reread this one and revisit this story and rekindle my love for this book, because it is amazing. So yeah, guys, that is it for my favorite / recommendations for Hispanic books by Hispanic authors. Comment down below, let me know if you guys have read any of these, what your thoughts were. If you guys have any other recommendations on books by Hispanic authors, definitely let me know those down below. Thank you guys all again for watching, and I will see you all next time.